Hey gamers, this is Liz Davidson from Beyond Solitaire, and today I want to show you how to solo OctoDice. This is a roll and write version of another game called Aquasphere, and in OctoDice we are going to be underwater researchers who are trying to gain as many knowledge points as possible while also keeping those pesky octopods off of our ships. So here we are all set up to play OctoDice. Here's our scoring sheet where we're going to be tracking the actions that we take and the amount of points that they're worth. Here's a lab where we can perform various upgrades throughout the game. The symbology on these I don't find very intuitive, but we'll explain everything as we go. The other thing that's kind of neat about the lab is that other than the fact that it needs to be 0, 1, and 2, these are double-sided and you can kind of mix and match. So you can make your lab look the way you want it to look. We also have our 6 dice. You'll notice that 3 of the dice are white. They're going to determine what action we're taking. And 3 of the dice are black, and they will have numerical values or these octopods on them. And the black dice are going to tell you how you perform the action that you take. Sometimes the color matters, sometimes the number matters. It just depends on which of these actions we're going to be taking, and I'll just walk you through as we play. So the thing that makes the solo game, by the way, different from multiplayer is that a multiplayer game is only 2 rounds per season with intermediate scoring after each. We're going to play 3 rounds. So these extra action boxes, in a multiplayer game, you can actually use dice rolled by another player twice throughout a round. But that is not actually going to be possible for me, because there are no other players. So we'll play 1 round, take 2 actions, a 2nd round, take 2 actions, a 3rd round, take 2 actions, and then we'll do intermediate scoring for a total of 9 rounds in a solo game. So let's go ahead and do round 1. In order to do that, first we're going to roll all of our dice and see what we get. All right, so here are our dice results. The way this is going to work is that we can keep 2 of these dice, but we have to re-roll the other 4. So even if I thought this was the most perfect roll in the history of mankind, I could not actually keep all of the dice. I can only keep 2. So I think what I'm going to do, actually, it's not going to give me a lot of points, but what I'm going to do is it will give me some. I'm going to keep these octopods. And the reason I'm going to do that is that every round you have to get at least 2 octopods. It kind of represents your just contributions to your ship in general, or else you're going to lose 2 points at the end of the round. The other thing is if you get multiple octopods in a single round, you get points for that. So if I roll more on the next roll, I could actually get quite a few points off of just octopods. So let's roll these remaining 4 dice and see what happens. All right, so in this case, I got a 0, a 1, a 2, and this submarine. So let's go ahead and take, so for the submarine, I only need a color. So that's no big deal. Actually, we'll take a sub. It won't score me anything yet, but I'm gonna grab it anyway. So let's just take the sub and a 0. Let's get a red submarine. And then let's roll these 2 dice. All right, so a 0 and a 1. This isn't gonna do too much for me, but we can work that out. All right, so now that I have all these dice, so I don't actually have to keep them in the pairs that I chose. That was 0. So I could technically pair the submarine with this green die as well for a green sub, if that's what I choose to do. So let's go ahead, however, and take a red submarine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set these 2 dice aside, and I'm going to cross off this red submarine space right here. This isn't going to score now. It'll only score if I manage to get some red robots and during the intermediate scoring round. But I may be setting myself up for something good in the future and throughout the game, so we'll have to see. These 2 dice are programming dice that won't do anything. So my first action was worth 0 points right now because the submarine wasn't worth anything. These guys don't work together to do anything, so those are going to be 0. And here are my octopods, so I can cross off these octopods. So the good news is that that also means that I'm not going to lose any points at the end of the round. Also, if you come up here, if you roll 2 octopods in the same turn, you get 1 point. So I got 1 point for octopods. Not a point-tastic first round, but at least I know that I'm having a net gain because I'm not going to lose any either. Now we're on to round 2, and we'll basically do the same thing. We'll roll all 6 dice and choose them in pairs. Ooh, how exciting. Okay, so here's what I want to do this time. I have some nice choices. So basically, I'm probably going to go ahead and take a red and a robot so that I can score for that submarine in the future. But there are a couple other good things that I could have chosen to do. This crystal is really nice if it's paired with a number die of a higher value, because you can just cross off a crystal and take the number of points it was going to give you. This one's technology research. This is going to require being paired with a yellow die, then a red, then a blue, then a green, then a white for increasing points. But since I don't have any yellow dice right now and no opportunity for that, I'm not going to go for it right now and try to push my luck and hope I get yellow because, So let's go ahead and roll these again. All right. So again, I'm in kind of a weird spot because I can't pair these. I'm gonna go ahead and take them in case I do get that yellow now. Let's see what happens. Okay, so that did not work out at all. Boo. All right, so what I'm gonna do though is, these were all a bust, but I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a red robot. So action 1 is a red robot. I do get 1 point for that. I'll get 2 points for the next one. So I got 1 point for that action. I'm gonna get no points for this tech action because I need to pair it with a yellow and I don't have it. And then again, same problem. These don't pair with the dice that I have right now. So that was kind of a bust. And then nothing happened for octopods, but we're okay. And now I get to take 2 more actions. So let's see what happens. All right, so now I am gonna take this gear for the tech tree and this yellow because I know that I'm gonna be able to play that. Now let's re-roll these and see what we get. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna take is I'm gonna go ahead and take a second red robot because I'm doing well with that. And then tech and red, but that's okay. We're not gonna take this as, ooh, actually I could. Okay, so I have some actual choices this time. And also don't forget, I'm putting these in pairs because that's how I'm thinking about it, but really like these dice are all mixed up and I can pair anything any way that I want now that I have my 6 dice settled. However, it seems to me that it would be wise to go ahead and take a gear and a yellow so I can cross this off and get 1 point. And now I have to decide, I have a good choice. I can either take a robot or a tech with a red. So I can either go 1 up the tech tree, which can lead to a lot more points later, or I can take 2 points, so this is worth 2 points, or I can take a robot that's worth 2 points and guarantee myself another 2 points during intermediate scoring. So I think that because that robot's ultimately going to be worth more right now, I'm going to take the red and the robot. So that means I'm going to get the robot that's worth 2. I'm gonna write 2 points in here, and that is the end of the first round. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna enter intermediate scoring. So we've had 3 turns, so it's like one whole little season gone by. We're gonna have intermediate scoring. So for intermediate scoring, you score for octopod penalties, which we won't have because we got 2 octopods during our first round. And then you score for submarine bonus points. And that's going to be great because you score off of your submarines for the robots that you have. So this submarine says 0, 1, and 2. That's because it's going to score for the number of robots that are next to it. So in this case, we're going to get 2 points because there are 2 robots. So we're going to get an additional 2 points here. So our total for this first set of turns at intermediate scoring is going to be 7 knowledge points. Not great, but not terrible either. So as you can see, this game plays very quickly, which is one of its charms, and we are a third of the way through already. So let's go ahead and roll again and see what the next set of rounds will bring. Okay, so here's our situation. We got a couple of octopods. We got a couple of numbers, a submarine, and a tech. So I definitely don't want the tech because I'm nowhere near green. It just doesn't look good to me. I can get my octopod situation out of the way, which I think is actually what I may choose to do. Let's just grab these 2 octopods and then throw the dice again and see what we get. Okay, so this is actually exciting. I'm going to be able to show you, theoretically, how the lab works. Okay, so I'm going to take a lab. I'm also going to take this red instead of the yellow. It doesn't really matter, but if I roll another tech, I can take a red tech and skip the lab. So we're gonna see if that happens. But I'll show you how to upgrade the laboratory if things work out. And then, okay, so we got a crystal and we got another octopod. So we have 3 octopods, which is actually pretty good. So I'm not gonna complain about that. We can only take 1 action, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. We are definitely gonna do the lab, because the crystal, if you take a crystal action, you're analyzing crystals, you get a score for the number of the die that you paired the crystal with. I'm not gonna take a crystal action for 0 points. That makes no sense at all. So we're gonna upgrade the lab. So we're gonna get 0 points for our lab, but we are gonna get to upgrade. So let me talk you through each of these, and then we'll choose one. All right, so these labs come in different upgrades. We have to do them in order from 0 to 2, but you can do everything on a column that you've advanced on. So if I've advanced to 1, I can do the 0 and the 1 power, for example. So what we're looking for is the best upgrade for us right now. This one is called Flexi Lab. Basically what this means is that once per turn, if I roll yellow on a black die, I can change it to any color or number, which is potentially nice if I roll yellow. This one's called Flexi Tech, and what that means is that I can take a research symbol and use it as if it were a bot. So if I get a research symbol that doesn't work here, I can use it as a bot instead, which just doesn't seem like a bad idea. And then this one is Sub Plus. So I can take 1 point for each submarine action I take. So instead of taking 0 points for a submarine and then only scoring at the end of the round, I can actually score for every submarine I build, which sounds kind of good. And then here are some other upgrades that we should be thinking about, because if you're going to go to the 0, you should also think about where you're going. So this one, Crystal Plus, gives me a +1 point for every crystal action I take. Plus Lab is +1 point for every lab action that I take. And this one is once per turn, I can use a submarine symbol as though it were an octopod, regardless of whether or not I actually use the submarine for an action, which is really cool. So basically, this might actually be good because I can get extra actions for a sub, and I can use subs as octopods if I upgrade again. Not bad. This one, Super Lab 5, this means that I get points for completely expanded lab columns, so I would invest more into the labs. This one is, let's see, Super Octo. That's going to be, you get points for crossed out negative points for octopods. So that's nice. And then this one, Super Level, immediately before bonus scoring, you can move your marker to level 2 in a lab column of your choice, so it's like extra upgrades. All right, I think what I would like is, let's go ahead and do Sub Plus. I'd like to be able to take extra actions for a submarine action. I'd like to build more submarines if I get lucky. No, you know what? I don't want to do that. I'm gonna come here because this makes my tech rolls more flexible, and you can't really do a lot with the sub without robots in the long run. So I'm gonna go there. I think that's a great idea. So now every time I roll a gear, I can also get a robot. There's no number to pair with the crystal. I'm not gonna get any points for that. But I'm gonna have a great time with these 3 OctoDice because not only am I going to cross off all of the octopod spaces, so I'm not going to take any point penalties, but I'm going to get 3 points for having 3 octopods. So I'm going to write 3 points right there. Now we're on to the next round. As you can see, this game is very zippy, which I do appreciate. All right, so let's see. I got a couple crystals. I got a lab. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the lab. And I'll take a 1. And we'll just kind of see where that takes us, because I can at least upgrade. Because the crystals, I really prefer not to use a crystal unless I have a 2. Okay, I don't love this. But I can get myself a point, which is tricksy. So let's go ahead and take these. I don't need any more octopods right now. Ah, and then a submarine and this 2. All right, so let's think about what of these things I actually want. I can mix and match as I like. I would like to get another sub in case I can also get another robot, which seems like a good idea. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use the sub and the, let's go ahead and just do the 0, because that's fun. No, that's not. No, this one. We're doing this sub, not a robot. Sorry, guys. So we're over here with this yellow submarine. Ha ha ha. And that will be action number 1. We don't get any points for it, but hopefully we will. And then for the lab, I'm gonna go ahead and do a 1 lab upgrade. So I'm gonna come up to here, and now every time I take a lab action, I get a point, which isn't a bad idea. So right now I get no points. I don't think I get points for the one where I do that, but all future lab actions I will. No octopod points. And then we have one more round in here. I am not scoring very many points, am I? Oof. We'll reroll that. Excellent. Okay, so I can definitely tell you what I would like to do. Let's go ahead and grab the white and the robot. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get another sub. Okay, I'm also gonna grab another white and another robot. I don't really need this lab upgrade right now. Okay, well, that's a lot of white and a lot of robots. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and take these 2 actions, and we're gonna get 2 robots for 1 point and then 2 points. So again, we are in intermediate scoring. The cool thing about the submarines is that you actually score for them multiple times. So I'm gonna get another 2 sub points. I don't score for this one because I don't have any yellow robots, but I get 2 points for the sub. I get 3 points for my octopods. I get 2 points and then 1 point from that last round. So 3, 6, 8. So I did get a score, and then let's see what the last 3 rounds would do for us. Okay, so here are my choices. I think what I'm gonna actually do is I'm gonna take a crystal, and I'm gonna take a 2, because if nothing else, I can pair those and get 2 points, which doesn't seem like a bad call. Also exciting is I want to grab this submarine. And I'm also going to grab, let's just take the 1. We'll have to think about, it might be more valuable to pair these 2 later. Okay, and then I got another submarine and a 1. Okay, so let's think about this. I definitely want to get a white sub. For sure, because that's going to increase my scoring in the next round. So I don't get any points for that, but that's going to be really great at intermediate scoring because it's another 2 points. And then let's go ahead and do, I can go for a green sub or a crystal. You know what? I'm not going to have a lot of time to build a lot of robots. Let's go ahead and take a crystal and the 1. So that means that I cross off this crystal and I can take 1 point for that. Nothing happened with the octopods. Hopefully I'll roll some next turn. We're already in this second to last turn. All right, let's see what we get. None of this is super exciting. You know what? I need to deal with my octopods. I'm gonna take an octopod. I'm also going to take this gear because I can use it as a robot. So if I roll a yellow, I can... So I could either have taken that red. If I roll a red or a yellow, I can do something with that gear. So I think that's a good call. Excellent. Okay, so let's see. Let's go ahead and grab... Let's grab the red and the yellow so we can make some choices. And then let's see what the last 2 bring. All right, so not too exciting. A sub and a 0. At least I took care of 1 octopod, because, ooh. Okay, so let's go ahead. You know, we're gonna go ahead and take the gear and the yellow, and we're gonna use the gear as a robot. That way we score 1 point now, and then we'll also score another point later, which is basically equivalent to this, but I have a chance at more. Then we already have a red sub. This is basically all kind of useless, so we'll get a 0 here. But we do get 1 octopod X'd off, and hopefully I can get 1 more so I don't take a point penalty at the end of the round. And then we're in the last round. Like, this went by quick. What? All right, went back and collected that die, just rerolled it. It's a crystal. Okay. So for point purposes, I'm gonna go ahead and grab these. Let's hope for another octopod though. Okay, let's do the gear, because I can use it as a robot. And we'll just take the one. Come on, octopod. All right, so we got an octopod. We got another gear. Okay, so here's what we can do. We are gonna take one crystal action for 2 points. We are going to take one gear action for a 1 robot. So I get 1 point for that. And then we do get an octopod, so we will not take a penalty during this intermediate scoring. And then again for intermediate scoring, I'm gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points for all of my robots with submarines. So that actually was pretty good. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points. So now we are in final scoring. And then basically we're just going to end up adding these up. It's not a great score because this is for the multiplayer game. So you get a bonus for having the most crystals in a multiplayer game. You also get some bonuses for these lab tiles, but we don't have any of those. So there's not going to go anything in this box. So it's just going to be 10 and 15 for a whopping 25 points. It's not great, but you know, it's a fun little game. I like that you are forced to kind of work with what you have in terms of the dice. I like that it's quick. And even though like the lab upgrades and stuff can seem a little complicated at first, the rulebook really explains them clearly and you get used to it pretty quickly. So this was OctoDice. It's a decent roll and write, and if it looks like it's for you, hopefully this video was of help. If you enjoyed my work, please like and subscribe, and happy gaming.